Okay, now we are on to our second group of projects with the Beary Comforting Paper Pumpkin Kit. Okay, this time we're doing two little treat holders. Our first one measures about 3.5, a little less than 2.5 by 3.5. Okay, we're using one of the card bases for this. Let me see if I have one left. I used most of mine. Oh, I do. Okay. So we're using one of the card bases, and you're just going to take and cut it in half at the 4 1/4, and then you're going to score it. Okay. So then you have two pieces. You're going to score the solid color. That's the base of our box. You're going to score that at 1 inch, all four sides. Okay. And I did it on those that have kits. Those of you who got just the additional kit, you already have your own paper pumpkin. You will have to do this to yours. And then I just take and cut up on the tabs, but I just take a little extra out of the corner of the tabs, not the flat, not the long one. Okay. It helps it fold up a little bit better. And then I did just a tiny bit less than 1 inch all the way around on this one. This is the lid, and I wanted it to be just a little bit larger, minute larger than the base so that it fits on good. Okay, so now you have your two pieces that are scored all the way around, and now you're just going to take your bone folder and crease really well on all the score lines. Okay, and then we're going to assemble, put adhesive on those little tabs and create our base. And I just realized that I didn't bring over tear and tape. Come on. Actually, I want the Seal Plus. Again, remember when you're doing things that will be moved, you want some stronger adhesive. The Seal Plus will do that. You can also use the green glue. You can also use the tear and tape. Okay, so just on all four tabs, put some strong adhesive because you don't want your box falling apart. Okay, and then you're just lining the edges up. Lining the edges up. Okay, all four sides, and then you have the base to your box. And then, so again, you can do this same thing with any designer paper, or not designer paper, any cardstock or designer paper. I like something a little thicker for the lid than just regular designer paper. But you can definitely decorate it up with designer paper too. So just think about any of your other card kits. You can make little boxes out of any of those. Anything that's got a card base that's got some strength to it, cut it apart and you're ready to go. You could put a gift card inside of this. You could, of course, put chocolates. Some Ghirardelli, of course, would fit in there. Okay, and then again, we're doing the exact same thing that we did on the base. We cut this, or scored it, just a hair smaller than we did on the base. So then it will fit right on top, just like that. Now you can, if you want, take some ribbon and wrap around it to hold it on. Okay, I'm taking the little raccoon from our kit. Now, this one is intended for the embellishment to go at the end of his hand like this, okay? I wanted his hand to be holding again. So take your paper snips and just carefully poke in and cut around his hand. Right on the line. Okay. Then you have that little spot I used the Stitched Be Mine, I think is what it's called, hearts. And I cut out a rich raspberry heart. And then out of the same dies, I cut some gold metallic, a heart out of that. Any punch you have, you just need a heart, and that's what I had. If you have the dog punch, you can use that. Okay, that's got a heart on it, I should say. Okay, so we're just going to stick that metallic heart in the center of there, and then we can tuck that in his hand. Cute. Okay, and so we're going to put dimensionals on the back of this. And again, you could put adhesive on it, but if you do that, it'll hold it in place. It won't go anyplace. And then we're going to put one there and one on his tail. Okay, peel those backings off and stick that right onto our box. And then we're using one of the circles out of your kit that have the gold rim around it. And You Are On My Mind. Again, I think that works for pretty much any occasion that you want to give a little something. It works for Valentine's Day, it works for birthdays, it works for a celebration, anything you want. And so you're just going to stamp that on there. And then we're going to, let's see, that I put down flat. So we're going to pull our seal in here. Come on. And we're going to tuck that underneath his arm. Oh. Okay, my recommendation is put that down first and then place your raccoon, so that you have a little bit of wiggle room, because you don't want to cover your words up. And I would also recommend stamping it up as high on the circle as you can. There, that'll work. Okay, and so just a fun little treat box to be able to give a little something to somebody special. This next one, again, fellow demonstrator Rachel Tessman made this little treat holder, gift card holder, in a different, it wasn't out of this kit, I'm sorry. And I really thought it was adorable, so I decided to use the kit and make one. Okay, so you can case things from everywhere. All right, you want to see what it is? Check this out. It's an adorable little purse. Okay, love the little handle. It's got a little Velcro piece, and then you can stick your little treats, gift card, and some chocolates inside of there. Great for like a bridal shower. You could have little place settings once life is normal and we can actually do things like that again. Okay, all right, so you're going to need green glue on this one. All right, oh, and so, all right, so you have this piece that I've already cut and scored for you. So just burnish it well on all the score lines, making sure that your edges are even, like that. Okay, and then I took, just like this card, only I used the Calypso Coral one, and I cut it apart so that it is 3 3/4 inches wide by the 5.5 that the card is. Okay, so you're just going to take the card and like this, you would cut at 3 3/4. Then you can use the rest of it for anything you want. I got little pieces all over. Okay. All right, then I've taken, and I've already cut these. You may want to erase those. I started, but with all the kits I was doing, I wasn't taking the time to do that on all of them so that those little lines don't show. We're going to create our purse base first. So fold on all the score lines at 1/2 inch, and then you have diagonal score lines. They're going to fold the opposite direction. Okay, and you're going to do that on both of them. And again, get your bone folder out to really make sure it creases well. It'll make the box go together, purse go together better. All right, so then And this time I'm going to use the green glue. Oh, look, I got a brand new one. Okay. And so, sparingly, let's see, which way do I want to do this? This way. First, we're going to put adhesive on those two little short flaps. Okay. And then, let's get this pulled back in here. Okay. Which one am I putting together? I need to get my bearings here. Okay. Let's set that down. So you're going to fold it up so that the shorter end is the front of the front flap. The longer end is like the front of the purse. Okay. So we're working with this section. Yes, this section right here. So the section that's closest to, what is this? And about 2.5 inches. Okay, so you're just going to adhere this on the flap and this on there like that. Push on them, give them a minute to adhere. Okay, and then we're going to put adhesive on the little 1/2 inch flaps. And again, you don't need a lot. You want the whole thing covered, but you just want a thin amount. Then it won't ooze out all over at you. Okay, and then we're just going to, oh, that one moved on me. And that's with the glue, you actually have some wiggle room to be able to fix that. Okay, and so then we're just adhering this. So put some pressure on that, and then we're doing the same thing on this side. So I am going to, and here's where you really should be using your silicone sheet. I had somebody point that out to me in another video, and it's like, yeah, I forget to get mine out, but it will protect your work surface from any glue. Okay. All right. So that's where we're at right now. And then put adhesive on these to attach this front flap, this 2.5 inch flap. Oh, and I did that wrong. Okay, we'll fix it. And I'll tell you why. What you should have done first. Okay, so again, some pressure. This piece, oh my goodness gracious. I just totally. I didn't mess it up because it can still be fixed, but, all right, this gets glued onto here. Okay, and we should have done it before we assembled this much so that you can get a good crease on this. It'll still work, but it should have been glued on before we assembled the box. Okay, so we want to make sure that we've got glue all over it so that as it creases, it will still hold. Again, you just need a thin layer, but it does need to be covered well. All right, I'm going to take this punch underneath here just to give me some balance. And then we're going to line those edges up. Again, it would be way easier if I had done it before I assembled it. Okay, so I'm just putting some good pressure on it. Okay, so we've got this. Oh, we got a glue booger in there. All right, and then you're going to fold it on those score lines. And that's, again, normally you would, let's see if we can't help it out here a little bit. My left hand is getting in the camera too much here. All right, there we go. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? There we go. That'll work. Okay. All right, but we want to corner round those two corners. And so I'm just using the triple detailed trio punch, and rounding the corners. All right. And then, let's see. You should have either a small round or a half of a larger round Velcro. And I just took the wrong one off the wrong side. You're going to use, one side is clear and one side is white. You want the clear side up here at the top flap. All right, so you're just going to stick it on there and then kind of pinch your box a little bit, get it all to line up, and then squeeze a little. And then I just try to, carefully peel it apart. All right, tell you what, let's do this first. See, one side's white and one side's clear. All right, and so let's try this again. Get my box lined up and pinch it. My problem is that I can't okay, it's gonna be a pistol for me. So I'm gonna do it this way. And I'm just going to feel where it is. My flat side, and we're right about there. And will that do it? Yep, it needs to come down a little more. So you just got to play with it if it wants to be a pistol like this one is. Normally I don't have any problem at all putting it down in there. All right, so it's gonna go like right there. Yep, that'll work. Oh, did you see that? Okay. There we go. Okay, now we're stuck together. Our final things to do is you have two circles. What I've done is I've already glued together 2 layers of cardstock, and then I've run it through with 2 stitch shapes circles. So it cuts the inside and the outside. Now we are going to glue these 2 circles together so that ultimately we have 4 layers of cardstock all glued together to create these little circles. This is the handle of our purse. These would be adorable for Valentine's Day too, doing some in reds, red and black. Very, very pretty. Okay, and then you have this extra little piece here, and so you're going to fold it on the score lines like that, and we're going to glue it to the top of our purse, putting this in it. Okay, so I'm going to start with one side first, just putting a little bit of glue on that little tab and centering it right on there. The edges are even back here. Okay, and then don't forget to feed that in there. Put glue on that last little flap and stick that down. Okay, if you guys had fun with this project, there are refill kits available through Stampin' Up. Just let me know and I'd be happy to place an order for you to get the refill. With the refill, you get all the card bases. You don't get the stamp set or the spot, but you get all the other little supplies. Okay, so we have this. Uh-oh, I didn't. Apparently for mine, hopefully I did for you guys. Okay, we are going to need one of the little pieces from our kit. Huh. Well, it may have fallen out in my other supplies. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. All right, so I have it here, and I don't know how long I had that one. And we're gonna go about right there. So I cut it at about 1.5 inches. It's gonna be partially hidden anyways. Okay, and what for you did I use? Interesting. Let me take a peek. And all right. I used For You out of Itty Bitty Greetings. Okay, it's just a tiny little, again, you can use anything. I'm going to just use a Memento ink, and I'm stamping it to the left side. Like that. Okay, and then I used dimensionals to adhere this. And I'm all out of the flowers that I used on this one. I did stamp one because the flower is in the kit, but I did it in a razzleberry, so I'm not going to use that. This time I'm going to use the present, and that will look adorable on here also. Okay, so let's see. We are going to put some adhesive on the side of the present and attach it. And then we have our dimensionals on the back. And so then we can just put that right on there. We still have all our little gold. And that's just adorable. Okay, plenty of room to put a gift card and quite a bit of chocolate inside of it. It is, what are we, about 1.5 inches wide on this. So it's a good sized little purse. All right, so you did that, and you're doing the little box. Okay, cute, cute, cute. Have fun.